Good morning. Hey, welcome to Business Growth Accelerator Facebook Lives. I'm Pete and it's really good to have you here today. Like everything, every Monday to Friday, 10 past 9, we're going to give you simple ideas for serious business owners to give you some solid results. That's the whole idea of the Facebook Lives. So the thing is that if there's an idea you want in your business, come along to the Facebook Lives. I'm sure we're going to have it. Because today, I want to talk to you about a machine. Okay, what is a machine? A machine is something that constantly gives you the benefits. It just constantly goes and goes and goes. And this is something that you want in your business. You want a machine. You want a system that is actually going to systemize your business so that you don't have to be there all the time. So many business owners complain that they are having to work in the business and they just don't have any time for themselves. They don't have any time for their friends, and they're just working there constantly. That is not a business, all right? That is just a job. In fact, you may as well go back to being employed by someone else because that's what you're doing by just not being able to get out of your business, because your business is meant to give you freedom. And unfortunately, people don't have that. So the thing is that it's like a conveyor belt in your business. You need a business to be constantly churning along and you just be able to watch the results. So how do you do that? How do you systemize your business? Well, before I go into that, let me ask you, what does system stand for? Because I have an acronym for it, for system. And you might want to write this down. System stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. Saving yourself time, energy, and money. And when you can do that, you've actually got a business. So how do you systemize your business? Well, firstly, you've got to get stuff out of your head, because most business owners have their business sitting in here. If you're sick or you're injured and you can't go to work, who's going to come in and run the business for you if they don't know how to do it or what to do? So you've got to take all the stuff you've got out of your head and put it down onto paper or down onto video or down onto photographs. Now, the thing is that we said this to one business owner and he thought, that's a great idea. I'll get everything out of my head and put it down on paper. 103 pages later, he had his system. And I'll tell you, it was really good. It was brilliant. But I said to him, who's going to read all this? 103 pages. And he said, well, I hadn't thought of that and you hadn't told me. And I said, okay, fair enough. I hadn't told you. But my suggestion is that when you pull the stuff out of your head, and you put it on paper, it needs to be one page. So how on earth do we get 103 pages down into one page? Quite simply that you use hyperlinks. So for example, if you've got a recruiting system, okay, you'll have your 5 or 6 stages of your recruiting system, but you'll probably have many ideas and thoughts as to the processes that you go through for your interview stage. Hyperlink that so that people can go from that one page to the link where it shows the 4 pages. And my suggestion is always have photographs in there. Now, a restaurant we dealt with a while ago, they actually, the head chef took the information out of his head, but he also made a photograph as well as writing down the recipe so that people or his sous chefs could see what it should look like at the end. And that just, it changed his whole business. And he was reluctant to do it to start with, for the simple fact he thought, oh, hang on, no one can do it as well as me. Well, you're right. No one can do it as well as you because it's your baby. It's your business. But let me ask you, if someone can do it 95% as well as you, is that okay? If they could do it 90% as well as you, would that be okay? Or even 85% as well as you, would that be okay? You'll get to a number where it's not okay. So that's where you stop. So let's say it's at 90%. So if your employees can do everything 90% as well as you and you're happy, great. Stick with that, but now train them, systemize the business so they can come up to your level. Now, going back to Dara, who was our chef, what we did with him is that we pulled, he was reluctant to take all the information out of his head, but I said to him, hey, let's take one of your signature dishes out of your head, write it down, give us a picture, and we're going to get one of your sous chefs to make this dish. Then we're going to do a blind tasting. He was really reluctant to do this, but he did. At a blind tasting, we took both dishes out to a group of patrons, and they tasted both dishes. And guess what? They couldn't tell the difference. Now, you'd think that Darryl would be upset with us, but he wasn't. What he realised, hey, I don't need to be here all the time. I can systemize this so that my staff can do the dishes exactly as I've laid it out here. All of a sudden, he was having a lot of time off. Talking of another restaurant, let's talk about McDonald's. We all know what the Golden Arches are. Would you agree with me that McDonald's isn't about burgers? I know, it's a little bit different. McDonald's is actually about a system because they made more millionaires in the world than any other business put together. And the reason they're so successful is that if you flew to New York and went to McDonald's, you would probably have exactly the same burger, the Big Mac or the Filet-O-Fish, whatever it is you have, as what you've had in England here or in Germany or in France, because it's about consistency. They've systemized their business right down to how their staff wash their hands even. That's how good a system is. And I'll tell you, the business owner who owns McDonald's, he or she is only expected to be in the business 1 day a year. All the rest of the time, they're doing stuff that they want to do. So if you don't want to keep going round and round in the same circles, I recommend systemize your business. Because if you haven't got a systemized business and you're working still in the business, then I'm sorry to say, but you have a job. And you may as well go back to being employed, because you're probably going to make more money being employed, and you're going to have more holidays. Because in your business, if you don't have that system, you're working in it constantly, no time off, and you're probably making less money. So there you go. That's the whole thing about system. Now, if you've liked what you've heard here, then I'm going to ask you to share it around, comment on it, make suggestions. In fact, if you disagree with me, I would love to know that as well. For the simple fact, it would be good to get your reactions. But what I do ask is, please comment on it, share it, like it, and around here you'll see the link to the Business Growth Accelerator Facebook page. See you again tomorrow, 9:10.